But for real, though, my foreskin is dry.
Why?
I'm jerking off a lot without anything. I never use lube.
Neither do I.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's pussy to use lube.
No, pussies are self-lubricating.
I mean, I don't know.
From my experience.
I think as a man, you just jerk that shit off dry, right?
Yeah.
But no, I've noticed I got a lot of dry skin on my dick now.
You might need to just use a little
lotion.
Moisturizer. Yeah.
It might just be, okay, this is really gross for the top of the show, but it might just be
lay it on me.
Dry cum.
Okay, yeah, that's gross.
Because I haven't showered 4 days. And I've been jerking off in bed and just coming on myself and falling back asleep.
Well, you don't even
clean it. I don't ever, this is a new thing.
On yourself?
Yeah. Well, the first one is a big one.
I'm not going to judge.
So, you know how it goes. When you jerk off a lot, the first one is the big launch. But if you jerk off within like 2 hours since the first one, there's like barely anything. So I do the first one into the toilet.
Whoa. Hang on. How long do you go in between jerk-off sessions?
A couple hours.
What?
Well, only like...
Oh, you're more of a man than I am.
Only like in certain circumstances. Yeah, like I've been sick for like a week, and if I'm super sick, like I had cold chills last night. I was telling you about it. Cold chills, hot flashes, cold chills because I'm going through menopause. And so like to make like I felt so shitty, but if I'm jerking off, it kind of goes away.
You know the best way to warm yourself up if you're cold is through friction.
Exactly.
You know what generates friction?
So I would jerk. I was super sick, so I didn't want to get out of bed. I normally never jerk off in bed. It's always standing, or I shoot into something.
Well, like
toilet usually,
like
or I usually in the shower.
See, I don't do it in the shower very often.
Yeah, 90% right into the toilet because it's in the morning. I jerk off in the morning. I usually have to pee, so I jerk off first and then just pee right after, and then take a shower. Or if I'm not quite spicy enough, I'll do my morning stuff, my morning poo-poo and all that, and then I shower, and I jerk off in the shower. With the new iPhones, you can bring it in with you and watch porn in the shower, you know?
Well, yeah, but you realize that you could get all three of those things out of the way at the same time.
In the shower.
You can shower, shit, and masturbate all at the same time.
Well, I pretty much sort of do that. I'll shit and then climb in the shower and masturbate in the shower. And then
Just waffle stomp that stuff down the drain.
That's what you do?
I mean, if I have to, if I'm in a hurry.
Iconoblast, we put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to show you why you can never take anything at face value. My name is Matt Cooper, and with me, as always, is my best friend of the last 20 years, Joel Benner.
Hi. Sorry about that horrible intro. We're going to get demonetized.
I have never taken a dump in the shower before.
I have.
I haven't. I am such a shy pooper that like I'm like shit
Shy
break
pooper? Matthew Cooper.
No, like I have to have like a nice comfortable setting for me to effectively take care of business. Round of applause for that one.
I was clapping because we forgot to sync at the top.
Yeah, I don't like pooping in other people's houses. I don't like pooping in public. Well, you've known this about me. Like, how long was it after we met where I was even willing to
pee?
Oh, yeah.
I had to pee on you before you'd pee in front of me.
Yeah, that made me feel so much more comfortable. Well, no, it was even a long time after we first met that...
I don't want to talk about pee and poo. I want to talk about how you masturbate.
That's much more easy to monetize right there.
We already blew it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we did. We started doing that a long time ago.
Let me just just to wrap up what I was saying.
But you finish real quick? Are you masturbating right now?
No. So I was so sick that masturbating makes me feel better, so I would masturbate in bed. But I got the first one out, the big waterfall.
The big comes.
Yeah. So the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. There's like only a little bit comes out, so I just let it come out on myself. Usually and it doesn't shoot. It just kind of like oozes out and wraps around and drips down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sleeping naked, so I just went to sleep, and I think that's what that is, to be honest. It's not dry skin. It's just dried cum.
That is...
Should I bleep this out? Should I cut all this out?
No, we have to leave this in. This is for the listeners. People need to get to know us.
If my fucking
They need to-
if my
they need
girlfriend
to-
hears this, she's gonna be really upset with me.
No,
She's gonna
I
think
don't.
I'm a dirty cunt.
What, you're not talking about? At least you're not fucking some filthy whore.
True, and I did tell her what I was doing. She knows about this.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Yeah. Okay, your turn.
So here's the trick. What you have to do is you have to jerk off so often that when you do come to completion, it's just a little puff of smoke. Then
That
there's
happens.
no cleanup. Yeah, just keep yourself at that point the entire time.
I've done that.
Where it comes out as a puff of smoke.
Well, not a puff of smoke, but like literally, if you get like three bangers out within like a few hours each, there's nothing coming out. It's like a little droppy.
See, that's where you gotta ride that line.
Yeah,
Ride that line. You never have to clean anything up.
true.
Well, anyway.
No.
Okay. All right.
How do you? I usually do it in the shower or into the toilet, which is kind of gross, but it's the easiest, cleanest way, quick and easy. How do you do it?
Well, you're talking about location or technique.
Oh no, I don't care about how you get there. I want to know: are you standing, sitting, or laying down?
I have to do it standing because I need at least 3 fingers in my butthole to finish.
Be real.
Okay, I'm being real. All right, the majority of the time.
On your knees?
No, that's when I'm jerking somebody else off. When I'm doing it for myself, when it's just for me,
Yeah.
when it's my time. I'd say it's like 50-50 bed or
Laying down?
yeah.
Are you on your tummy or on your back?
Am I laying on my stomach jerking off?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm laying on my back.
Okay. I can't
so
do
yeah,
it like that. I did last night, but
laying
I
on
don't
your
like it.
stomach.
on my back.
Wait, do you lay on your stomach and do it?
No, I don't lay down at all when I do it.
Okay, I was a little confused by that because I couldn't figure out the.
On my side a couple times, but I don't like that either.
Oh yeah, I've tried it on my side.
When
a
you're
handful of
busting, you go to
times,
the
but-
side, right? You swap to the side.
No, why would I?
Where do you shoot your load?
Into some toilet paper or paper towels or something like that.
Do you keep it by your bed?
Where else am I going to put it?
So you have nut rags by your bed.
An entire stack of them.
I never have anything like that.
No,
I thought that was just like in the movies.
No, I do my business and then I go and flush it down the toilet.
So you actually have papers or something that you nut into?
Well, yeah, because
It's so much prep work that takes all the fun. That's
No,
like-
I know. That's why I don't do it very often. It's a whole lot easier just doing it into a whore.
or onto yourself.
No, I'm not gonna give myself a pearl necklace.
You could get naked, jerk off onto your chest, and take a shower.
Then I have to take a shower.
You're
If
going-
I'm already gonna take a shower, then I'm just gonna go in the shower and do it.
Okay, so you do jerk off in the shower.
Yeah, I have before. That's like if I'm in a hurry, but I'm like, oh man, I need to clear my mind.
I'm gonna cut
But I have
this
to
out.
take a shower. No, leave this shit in. This is fucking solid gold. This is letting people get a peek inside of the lives.
This is
of
how
the
people
Iconoblast
that
hosts.
listen to it for the first time turn it off in the first 3 minutes.
I guarantee you that everybody that is listening to the beginning of this episode is fully fucking locked in. They want to know how
They're
we
jerking
jerk off.
right now. They're about to comment. I'm
I hope
right
they
in the
are.
minute. Yeah.
Wait, how would we help them get to completion? No, we're not doing the erotic fiction right now. But yeah, just knock one out in the shower if I'm in a hurry. If I'm having like a nice lazy morning, then I'll lay in bed.
Do you use lube?
No, never.
Never. Yeah, me neither.
Never. Only time I've ever had to use lube is with the lady partner, who might be a little older. Because that becomes a problem at some point for some people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it can definitely make the situation more interesting.
Lube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it
Toys.
can definitely be fun. Well, I mean toys too. That can be fun also. See, do not anybody who's listening to this right now, any of the guys out there, never be intimidated by bringing toys in, because that's essentially like a tag team wrestling match.
Fuck yeah.
It's reducing.
They're just there to help.
Yeah, it's reducing the amount of work that you have to do yourself, and it's making it better for your partner.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
All right, so how do we segue into the topic from that?
Speaking of jerking off and penises and stuff, Sharks have 2 dicks.
Okay, that was pretty solid. So I actually did have a question for you. What is one of the most formative or influential films from your childhood where it's something that...
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2, what did it change about your life?
It made me want to be tough like Arnold.
Okay, that's good enough. Because for me, Jaws was one of the most influential films that I ever saw throughout my entire childhood, because to this day, I am still terrified of going in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm afraid of sharks too because of fucking Jaws.
I think there's an insane amount of people that are afraid of sharks now, specifically because of the movie Jaws.
Fuck yeah.
And understandably so. I mean, they should be. They're mindless fucking killing machines.
With 2 dicks.
With 2 dicks. That's what I'm even more
They
afraid of.
really do have 2 dicks.
Yeah, yeah, and they're
weird.
kind of they're very weird looking. I thought I had a weird
And they're
looking dick.
aggressive when they have sex.
I mean,
Most,
a lot of people can
most
be. There's
animals are.
nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited about this episode because it's the first episode we've done about a creature.
Oh
It's
yeah,
never
actually it
happened
is.
before. Yeah.
It's not a specific person. It's an event, an iconic event, an event that inspired me to never want to get back into the ocean. And that's
Yeah.
because today we're doing the true story behind the movie Jaws.
I didn't even know that it was a true story.
So it's not exactly a true story. It's an event that inspired some of the story behind Jaws. Because Peter Benchley, when he wrote Jaws, apparently he like phoned that shit in.
Really?
Hardcore. Yeah. In the beginning, he got a little bit of an advance for like 1 or 2 pages.
Yeah.
And then once he got the advance, he did how many pages was it? I don't remember exactly how many pages, but he wrote a little bit, sort of like a treatment, like a film
Yeah.
treatment, and then
10
submitted
pages,
that.
20 pages or
And
something.
he got enough of an advance that he was able to live off of it for, well, this was back in the 1970s, so it didn't take as much. He got like a $7,500 advance.
Yeah.
And he was able to live off of that for months and months until he finally ran out of money. And then he was like, oh, wait, shit, I have to write this fucking book. Okay, fuck. All right, let's start writing about
Or
sharks.
script?
It started off as a book because Peter
Okay.
Benchley was he wrote novels. It got adapted into film by, Steven Spielberg. I think it was Zanuck. No, it wasn't Zanuck. It was after that. But anyway,
If you're watching on YouTube, Starship Troopers is playing in the background. It's the shower scene.
best part of the movie.
It's on YouTube, so I bet you it's cropped out. Or
Wait, is it?
wait, was there some
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
mamas? Yep, cropped out. I know that shot.
Oh yeah, it is. That's bullshit.
Great
Can't even
movie,
see
though.
Jake Busey's dick.
They don't ever show it.
Maybe not in the version you saw. So yeah, Peter Benchley spent a bunch of time just blowing the money that he got for the advance to write Jaws, and then he started getting shit from his editor and from the publisher. He was like, okay, fuck, I got to write this book now. So he started writing it and submitted, I don't know how many pages, and when he sent it off to the editor was like, okay, the
fuck is this?
first 5 pages are good. The rest of this is trash.
What have you been doing this whole time?
Yeah, and I have a feeling that what he was doing was a whole lot of drinking, whole lot of
Partying.
partying. That's probably the same thing that I would do in that situation. But the first 5 pages were really, really good. Everything after that, when he submitted the initial manuscript, apparently was like almost a comedy.
What the hell?
And it had like all these weird sex scenes and stuff in it. And the editor was like, dude, the first 5 pages are really fucking good and creepy, and then everything else just goes off the rails. What the fuck are you doing?
What happened? Yeah.
He's like, okay, so throw out everything beyond the first 5 pages and then use that tone to complete the book. And then he ended up writing like one of the greatest horror stories of all time.
Whoa.
I think it was within 2 months of the book being published, that's when it got optioned for a film.
Wow.
Like, that's
And
how
Spielberg
influential it
picked
was.
it up.
Oh, and the book itself, pretty different from the movie, because in the
What's
book,
the book called?
Jaws.
Oh, I didn't even know it was off a book. What the fuck?
Even the original.
Does
so
it say it in the movie?
does it
Like
say
based off of the book? Because usually it does.
it says that it's
Must.
based off of a story by Peter Benchley,
Okay.
but the original cover art for the book is the art that they used for the movie poster.
No shit.
But when they submitted the art for the book cover, the publisher was like, "Oh no, this is way too risque," because there's like a, the
lady swimming.
Yeah, the lady swimming, and you can tell that she's naked because it's the first girl that gets killed in the movie who's skinny dipping.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh no, this is way too risque." So they ended up changing the cover to something else. But Steven Spielberg loved that original art so much that they turned it into like the most iconic movie poster that I can think of, which is the shark coming up from the bottom, the girl swimming through the water.
Yeah, that image is badass.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know why they would ever get rid of that. So when the differences between the movie and the book, we're gonna get into the actual part of the inspiration for the story in a minute, but the differences between the movie and the book are actually pretty major because Hooper, the what was he, a biologist or a
Hoover, like the guy that made the Hoover Dam?
Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss, the guy who made the Hoover Dam. So his character is actually having an affair with Brody's wife throughout the movie, and Brody and Hooper do not get along. Like they even get into a fist fight at one point. Hooper ends up dying when the shark attacks the cage. It eats him, and like Brody watches him getting eaten. Yeah. And then Captain Quint, like by far best character in the fucking movie. The way that he dies is so similar to the way it happens in the movie. The shark jumps up on the stern of the boat.
Love that part.
But Quint ends up harpooning the shark, and it swims away, but a piece of the rope gets wrapped around his leg and drags him into the water. So he actually has a death similar to Captain Ahab in Moby Dick.
Sick.
Which I think was obviously a inspiration for the way that he died, because so in the book they don't spend multiple days out at sea. Like they'll go out to hunt the shark and then return to shore. So they go out, come back, and then eventually they don't have enough money to keep paying Captain Quint to hunt the shark. But at that point, he has such a vendetta against it. He's like, "I don't care if you pay me. I'm still going to kill this fucking shark."
Whoa.
And that's when he ends up dying like Captain Ahab. So some of the stuff from the book was better than the movie, but overall the movie is much better.
Yeah, there's so much crazy shit about the movie too. Like the shark was broken the whole time.
Oh, the shark was named Bruce, and it was a piece of shit. Yeah. Broke down all the goddamn time. But it looks so fucking good.
That's why they had to make shit work because it was breaking all the time. Like I mean, this is a rumor I heard.
Oh, that's why the shark doesn't have more screen time.
Well, yeah, that's why it was someone on set or something. I don't remember the story now, but that's why it's a buoy for half the movie. That was made up to be like,
and that
the shark fin's not working. The fucking shark's not working at all. We can't show it. Somebody on set in the moment was like, they harpoon it, and there's just a buoy going everywhere, and that's how all that was made up, not in the script.
And that's fucking amazing because it makes it so much scarier.
Yeah.
So much scarier when you know where it is,
you
but
just
you
see that little fucking
dude,
balloon,
as soon as
whatever it was, a little yellow.
Yeah, it was it was like
thing.
Almost looked like a yellow keg.
Yeah.
As soon as that pops out of the water, you're just like, oh fuck. You don't even need to see the shark.
Yep. Badass.
So one of the events that actually inspired the story for Jaws are the shark attacks of 1916 in New Jersey, also known as the 12 Days of Terror, or as I titled it for this episode, the Matawan Man-Eater.
The Matawan Man-Eater?
Matawan Man-Eater.
What's a Matawan?
Matawan's
like a female?
Yeah, it's a female Padawan. No, it's the name of a creek in New Jersey, where some of the fucking attacks happened in a goddamn creek.
Is it Salt
That is
Creek?
terrifying. No, Freshwater Creek.
Is there Salt Creeks?
No. No, they'd all be freshwater. So in 1974, author Peter Benchley published a novel called Jaws that would give thousands of people galleophobia, or the fear of sharks.
That's what you have.
Big time. That's
Galleophobia.
One of my biggest fears is sharks.
That's funny.
What many people may be unaware of is that Jaws was inspired by true events that occurred in the summer of 1916 along the coast of New Jersey. For 12 terrifying days, an aquatic killing machine prowled the Jersey Shore, maiming or killing any person that crossed its path.
Aquatic killing machine.
This is the story of the Matawan man-eater. On July 1st, at a resort town called Beach Haven, 28-year-old Charles Van Zant was enjoying a vacation at the Ingleside Hotel. After a day of enjoying all of the used heroin needles and Guido's Jersey had to offer, the Philadelphia native decided to take a quick dip in the ocean before going to dinner. Van Zant strolled towards the water, stopping briefly to pet a Chesapeake Bay retriever that was playing in the sand. He then waded into the waves, dodging used diapers and empty cans of hairspray along the way. Unbeknownst to him, hepatitis wasn't the only danger lurking in the water. You actually can catch hepatitis from water, speaking from experience. Not long after swimming out beyond the surf, Van Zant began shouting and waving his hands. Beachgoers on the shore at first thought he was calling to the dog, seeing as drowning stray animals is a popular pastime in New Jersey, but it wasn't until the water turned crimson that they knew something was wrong.
Oh, fuck.
So he actually did run into a random Chesapeake Bay retriever that was just playing on the sand, and people saw him playing with that before he went out into the water, and then once he started...
When he was freaking out, they thought he was...
Yeah, they were like, oh, he's just trying to get the dog to go out into the water with him. Two good Samaritans, a lifeguard named Alexander and a bystander named Sheridan, rushed into the water to rescue Van Zant. Upon reaching the panicking swimmer, Alexander noticed a large shadow moving through the water.
Oh, God, you just made me remember a fucking video I watched of a fisherman caught a shark. It was kind of a baby shark, and he was trying to grab it with his hands to pull it in the boat.
Wait, and it bit his finger off?
And it bites his fucking arm.
Oh, okay.
And the fucking to see what the shark, it's natural. It's almost like an alligator. You know, the alligator will bite and spin.
Yeah, they do the death roll.
It does like what a dog does. It was completely out of the water, got a hold of his arm, and was like, "Rah!"
They'll shake back and forth,
and it just ripped everything off his fucking arm. And the video cuts right then.
So there's...
But it fell back in the water. It got away by doing that.
Oh, that motherfucker! It's not even going to face justice.
No, the guy got the justice. Leave the sharks alone.
True. I agree with that. So I am terrified of sharks, but I absolutely love them at the same time. Like, I don't want sharks to be hunted down and killed. I feel like just stay the fuck out of their territory. If you go out into the ocean and you get attacked by the shark,
that's your fault.
That's your fucking fault. You're going into their territory.
Yeah, it's
so
fair.
There's no way to
I don't feel bad for anyone that
them.
gets eaten by a shark.
Oh no, me either. Not at all.
I think it's scary and I think it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's why they stay the fuck out of the ocean.
Yeah, I still go in the ocean sometimes, but
the only place that I ever spent, like, I mean, we used to live on the coast.
Yeah.
But
there's no shark attacks there in Ventura.
And dude, off the coast of California has some of the highest concentrations of great white sharks in the world.
But not a lot of shark attacks.
No, not a whole lot. There's
a lot in Hawaii, though, especially at sunset.
Dude, the tiger sharks out in Hawaii. So what makes, like, I nerd out about this shark stuff.
I love it.
Because I fucking love sharks.
That's the thing you're terrified of the most, you love the most.
Well, it's the same.
Like a woman and like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dude, that's why women love true crime.
And that's why men love Shark Week. Yes.
I think everybody loves Shark Week.
Love Shark Week.
So each shark, like each of the top three most dangerous sharks to humans are the great white, the bull shark, and the tiger shark. And each one of them have a different reason that they're insanely dangerous. When you were talking about the way that the shark grabs on and shakes back and forth.
Like a dog, yeah, like a
so if you look at the way that, like, a great white shark, or actually most sharks, if you look at the way their teeth are set up, their bottom jaw is going to have teeth that are more pointy. They almost act like a fork.
Which shark?
Pretty much any shark.
Okay.
Not like makos or anything like that. Like makos, they just have a whole bunch of really pointy teeth. But let's say we're talking about the tiger shark or the great white. So they have, on the bottom, they have really pointy teeth that are designed to just dig into the flesh and hold it still, so they can shake back and forth. And then their top teeth act like a knife, especially the tiger shark. Dude, if you look at the upper row of teeth in a tiger shark's mouth,
yeah,
they all they go down and they curve to the side, and they're razor fucking sharp.
And aren't they layered?
Yeah, they all kind of
3 layers of fucking teeth.
like multiple
time?
layers, because they lose teeth constantly. So they just
Just
have to
growing new
they
teeth all the
continually grow new teeth.
That's fucking
So yeah,
terrifying.
their top row of teeth, even with a great white shark, their top row of teeth acts more like a knife, and the bottom row of teeth is like a fork. So the fork holds it in place, and then the knife saws through it.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
With great white sharks, they're dangerous pretty much specifically because they're so big and strong. A tiger shark has a much more
smaller, right?
They're kind of smaller. They're still real fucking big.
I
They're
thought
like
the
up
tiger
to
sharks
16 feet.
attacked more when they were young. Because most,
I'm not sure
I thought
actually.
most of the attacks, like in Hawaii and stuff, are from tiger sharks, but it's when they're babies.
Yes, tiger sharks. I think that bull sharks are kind of thought to be responsible for more shark attacks than any other type of shark, because bull sharks are insanely territorial and they have the highest level of testosterone out of any other type of shark.
Gangsters.
So they're
alphas.
They're alpha as fuck. But yeah, they'll attack people just for pissing them off.
Just for being around.
Yeah, great white. One of the things that makes great whites dangerous is they'll do.
They have a need to feed, right? Like zombies when they smell the blood.
They all do, but so if you think of it this way, they don't have hands. So if there's something that they want to test, literally the only way that they have to interact with the world is their mouth.
Teeth.
So a great white, if they just want to come up and see like, oh, are you food? Or are you something that I should leave alone? If they do that exploratory bite, they're so powerful
It rips your arm off.
that it could rip your arm
They're
off.
being friendly and it can rip your arm off.
They're being curious and they just accidentally kill you. That's
fucked.
similar with tiger sharks, except tiger sharks are considered to be the dumpster of the ocean because they will eat fucking anything. Like they'll just eat shit. They'll so in Jaws, like they find the the license plate inside of a shark?
Yeah.
That's how tiger sharks are. Like they'll just go up and swallow shit and be like,
dog
okay,
of
maybe
the
this is
sea.
food.
They're like the bulldog of the sea.
Yeah, they're the taco of the ocean.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jack Mandeville.
Yeah. We love taco.
But with tiger sharks, since they're willing to eat anything and they have insanely sharp teeth. Like I said, their top row of teeth is like a razor blade. It almost creates a continuous edge along all of their teeth. When they come up, and even if they just do an exploratory bite, like they can very, very easily bite off a limb in one bite.
And then they're gone.
Yeah, there was a surfer, a young girl, I don't remember her name, but she was like 16 years old, out surfing in the ocean off the coast of Hawaii, and all of a sudden she just felt a tug on her right arm, and she looked over, and her fucking arm was gone. Like, that's how fast it was able to come up and just
Through the bone.
bite through her arm and swim away. I love sharks. They're so fucking awesome.
Ugh, they're creepy.
I mean, they're terrifying, but they're fucking awesome.
They're cool, yeah. Are they the what's the craziest or the scariest creature of the ocean? Killer whale is more dangerous?
No, orcas aren't. Orcas are bigger. Orcas do hunt sharks occasionally. Orcas, the scary
Don't
thing.
dolphins fuck up sharks?
They can. There's been stories of dolphins actually defending people from sharks.
With their nose? Their nose attack?
Like Echo the dolphin?
dolphin?
I don't know if that's the way that they do it, but I do know that there's been a couple anecdotal stories about dolphins getting in between humans and sharks and scaring the sharks away.
They're smart, right? Dolphins are super smart, so they probably kind of like the Roman. They're like the Roman army of the sea, so they probably gang up on the sharks, and they have their principes and triarii.
They're old grizzled dolphins.
The
are
younger
out there
ones
like,
are like
all right, gotta go in here
making
and
fun
handle
of
some
them and talking
business.
shit to the sharks.
Dude, I think dolphins are
what are
the
those
second most intelligent animals on the planet, just
It's
behind
like pigs
humans.
and dolphins, right?
I think dolphins are number 2 behind humans. From
the
from what
episode
we
we
can
did
tell.
with Jack Mandeville, the
Yeah.
lady that jerked off a
Hey,
dolphin.
if a dolphin likes to get jerked off, then fuck it.
Pretty smart.
Yeah. It was able to guilt trip that woman into giving it hand jobs.
That's insane.
That's a very human thing to do.
It's true.
All right, so the two men grabbed the injured vacationer and began dragging him towards the shore. According to the lifeguard, the shark trailed behind them until they stepped onto the beach, which is also fucking scary. Going out into the ocean, you're grabbing somebody who has already been attacked by a shark, and then you can just see the shark swimming around behind you all the way back to shore.
Fuck that.
No, fuck that. The attack had nearly removed one of Charles Van Zant's legs. His left thigh was stripped of flesh all the way down to the bone.
Ugh.
Bystanders carried the bloodied vacationer to the nearby Ingleside Hotel and placed him on the manager's desk as they waited for the medics to arrive. Sadly, his wounds were too severe, and he died of blood loss moments later.
Damn.
And that's it. That was the only shark attack. Story's over.
Yeah, right.
At the time of the attack on Charles Van Zant, sharks weren't considered to be a danger to humans, which I thought that this was fucking insane. Like, biologists would argue over whether or not sharks were dangerous, like whether they were even capable of hurting humans.
There's no documented killings yet?
So it's been known for a long, long time that sharks will attack people, but it was all anecdotal evidence. Like there wasn't anything specifically documented because
They just heard stories.
Yeah, humans haven't been great at keeping records until really recently.
Yeah.
So I mean, sailors.
Sea shanties about it.
Yeah, no, that's a big part of it. Is sailors would say for a long time that sharks would eat people that fell overboard, but it was all.
Where's the proof?
Yeah, show me the pictures.
Yeah. Show me the blueprints.
Most people saw them as just another fish, no more threatening than a sea bass, and when news of the attack broke, many people theorized that it wasn't a shark that had killed the swimmer, but some other ocean-dwelling predator. One scientist even claimed that it was most likely a territorial sea turtle that had ripped Van Zant's leg off.
What the fuck?
Literally
Turtles
said...
can fuck shit up, but not.
Oh, they definitely
on
have
that
strong
size.
jaws, but yeah, this one dude literally thought that it was a fucking sea turtle that killed this guy because they thought that sharks were less dangerous than a fucking sea turtle. That's insane.
This is in the 70s? Oh,
1916.
1916. Well, yeah, that makes sense then. Those idiots.
While locals continued to argue over the identity of the perpetrator of the attack, the real culprit was still on the prowl. Over the course of the following 5 days, the shark swam north along the shore looking for its next meal. It found it 45 miles north of Beach Haven at the seaside town of Spring Lake. Swam nearly 50 miles up the coast looking for more shit to eat. I mean, I'm sure it was eaten along the way.
It's the same one?
Theoretically, it was
They assume it
the
is.
same one. It all occurred within such a short time span, and the details of the attacks were so similar that
Had to have been.
they're
He got a taste for
assuming that,
human flesh and he wanted more. For real, though.
no, I mean that's honestly that's kind of got to be
Probably
the
what happened,
case.
right?
Yeah, and humans
He
are
was
going
like,
to be.
oh, wait, you can eat these things that walk around.
Dude, and they
in the
hardly
shallow
even
water.
they hardly even fight back. This
Yeah,
is
and they
fucking
get scared
awesome.
and they run away.
Yeah, it's like I think humans would be the equivalent of like chicken wings to a shark. There's not a whole lot of meat on it, but it tastes good.
Tastes
and
good
it's
and-
cheap and easy to get.
Well, what do we eat that runs away?
Everything.
It's like a snail, kind of. When you take a bite, it hides in its shell.
Kind of. I mean, snails can't get away very easily, though.
True. Well, neither can humans when they're in the water.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. I don't know. I think the
Escargot.
I think
Humans
the
are the escargot of the shark world.
escargot of the ocean. Very, very little meat. It's not something that all
Doesn't that
sharks
depend?
enjoy eating.
Depends on
Okay,
who's out
I've
there.
seen some people with a whole lot of meat on their bones.
Put Chris Farley out there. A lot of food.
Dude, he would fight them the fuck off. The amount of speed that guy was on.
That's true. He would wrestle.
He could probably
shark.
run across the surface of the water towards the tail end of his career.
He was the best.
I love him. On July 6th, 27-year-old Charles Bruder was taking a break from his job at the Essex and Sussex Hotel when he encountered the Matawan man-eater. Bruder was swimming roughly 130 yards offshore, basking in the...
Idiot.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
was he that far out there?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Anytime that I see anybody, like I'll see videos of people filming themselves swimming out in the middle of the ocean where you can't see any land around, and when you look down in the water, it just
forever.
goes
Fuck
down until it's
that.
black. No, there's no fucking way
I'm cool in
getting
the ocean. It's the second I get too far out where, like, I can't touch the ground anymore, that's when I start to get nervous and I can freak out, and especially if there's an undertow.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the majority of shark attacks occur in 4 feet of water.
So it's safer if you can't touch the ground.
Yeah. You're safer if you're just on the shore.
Just don't go in the fucking ocean.
Yeah, just don't go in the fucking ocean. Swim in lakes and rivers.
Unless you want to get attacked by a shark, like if you want that battle.
You're putting your life well, not in your own hands. You're putting your life in the hands of whatever shark decides to come up and eat you.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm surprised you in particular aren't more like crazy.
More crazy?
Yeah.
Because
you want to die.
Get more crazy? Oh, not by getting eaten by a shark.
Yeah, but there's like so many things you could do that put your life at risk.
No, see,
You could be a wild animal.
No, we've talked about this. Well, I mean, I take a handful of risks. We've been talking about that recently. But the difference is we've had this conversation. With my luck,
You'll live through all of
it's
it.
not going to kill me. It's just going to make things worse.
Yeah, it's true.
So then I would just, like, I go swimming in the ocean, and I get, like, 2 legs and an arm bitten off, and now I'm a triple amputee. And
Well, you could parachute. Become a skydiver.
no, we've talked about this. With my luck,
live and then
I'm going to hit the ground,
Send
and
you out
then
there again.
okay, so somebody is going to have to
I'll put you down if it
load
gets
my
bad enough. I'll put
quadriplegic body back into the plane. Okay, good. You're a good friend, man.
I'll take you
Glad
down.
you do that for me.
I think we made that promise already. If you became retarded or crippled, then
We
I would
have
kill
talked
you.
about that. Yeah, I
and same.
do not want to live as a vegetable. I won't let you live as a vegetable. You don't let me live as a vegetable.
Why am I still alive? 'Cause
No, I'm saying. So you currently
I'm saying too.
you you currently still have the ability to punch your own ticket if you wanted to. As soon
you
as you get to the
don't.
point where you can't punch your own ticket, that's where a
Punch the
loving
ticket.
a loving friend needs to step in. I don't want to be a Terry Schiavo. Well, actually, no, Terry Schiavo. That worked out because at least somebody took her off the feeding tube.
I'll be able to
Nobody-
tell. If it's funny, I'll keep you for a while. I'll take you home.
It's like, dude, look at this motherfucker. I can do
You should
anything
be-
to him.
yeah.
He can't do shit.
You want to?
Oh, look, he's crying.
Want to see his dick? That's fucked up.
Hey, $5, you can fuck him.
Yeah, he has no feelings. Meanwhile, you're fully conscious, but you have no physical ability.
Dude, that's a real thing. I think it's called like locked in syndrome, where it's like you're in a coma, but you're completely conscious.
Fuck that.
No, dude. As soon as
How do you know that? How would I know that?
Oh, you don't need to know. Like, just make the assumption that as
If you go
soon
into a
as
coma, I'm gonna wait at least a little bit to get you back.
what to wait.
Not like.
Oh, you're gonna
people
wait a
come-
little bit as revenge?
No,
to get me back?
To get you back out of a coma, because maybe
Oh,
you'll
no.
come back.
I mean,
Some people do.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
Ross
happens.
did.
That's true. Fuck.
So there'll be a deadline.
I'm not Ross though. I mean,
There'll be a
Ross.
deadline. If
Ross
you-
has some
They
fucking
can manage your
willpower.
brain damage and shit. Like if you have brain damage to the point where, I think a little brain damage would help you. If you go into a coma and get a little bit of brain damage, you'll come out and forget how fucking shitty the world is.
Like,
You
oh
might
wait,
be happier
I'm
than
finally
shit.
happy.
Yeah,
This is awesome. I wish I would have had a horrible accident sooner.
yeah. It goes both ways, right? Brain damage will make you go completely insane and murder somebody and be fucked up, or the opposite happens and you just don't give a shit anymore.
Oh fuck, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
As soon as
should
we're
get
done
into
with the show,
boxing.
can you just like kick me super hard in the back of the head?
Start
No,
training
front of the
boxing,
head. Front of the
not
head. It'd be
MMA,
like-
because there's not a lot of head trauma in MMA. Surprisingly, boxing.
We could make it so much easier if you would just like give me a good solid blast right to the front of my head.
Yeah, but that might do too much. Boxing, it's a slow, steady. Because it's pads. You wear the padding on your head. You get punched in the face. And once you start to feel happy, you just stop boxing.
So you just sit there and get hit in the head, and it's like, are you happy yet?
Yeah.
You happy yet?
It might take like
there
it takes like
is.
4 years.
Oh no, I'm not waiting that long. But seriously, like lobotomy sounds pretty good to me.
If you go into a coma, I'll give it some time. I'll know when the right time is.
I trust your
put you
judgment on that.
And I will do it.
I would actually 100% trust your judgment on that to be like, okay,
Yeah.
it's time.
I'll have to. If your parents or your sister's still alive, it's going to be a tough one.
I mean, you'll probably have to kill one of them also.
I'll just have to do it secretly somehow.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not painful. If I'm still feeling anything, like
I
you
won't
have
let that
locked
happen.
in syndrome, and then you're just being like slowly tortured to death.
If I know that, I'll put you down right away.
Oh, okay.
That's a day.
Just give
If
me the
you're
old
fucked, it'll be a day.
give me the old Lenny from Of Mice and Men treatment.
What happens in that? What happens?
It just quick shot to the back of the head while being distracted, but he was also still.
Well, if you're in a hospital, I think I have to suffocate you.
Ah, God, that.
If you're out, you won't know. If you're in a coma or whatever.
You know what? Better yet. All right, so here would be the.
How do you get away with
simplest-
it so I don't have to go to jail for murder?
Dude, I can tell you.
Okay.
So what you have to do is it's going to take a little bit of work up front. I'm not sure where you would source these materials. Make friends with a diabetic at some point, and then you have to just get a syringe with a bunch of insulin in it, inject it underneath the tongue, and the insulin overdose will kill me, but they won't be able to find the actual like puncture mark, and the insulin is going to be like.
I can get insulin if I tried.
Oh, okay, good.
Right? Just steal it from
A diabetic.
diabetic.
Yeah,
And
but
it kills them
not
too.
going to be able to fight back. I mean, most of them are like severely overweight.
No.
You'd be able to run away from them pretty easy.
Okay.
It's got even darker than I
It
was
goes both
expecting
ways,
it
though,
to.
Coop. Same for me.
Oh yeah, I fuck man. Even if you start acting like you're a little bit too sick, but still moving around, I'll
Put me down,
I'll
yeah.
punch that ticket for you.
Thank you. If
Which,
the
by the
lady's
way,
there, she has to agree, but she's on the same page.
You have been coughing a little bit lately, so it's been on my mind. Should I
It's
wait?
time.
No, I'll wait. After next month.
Okay.
After next month, if you still feel sick.
Okay.
So, yeah, all right. Segue. July 6th, 27-year-old Charles Bruder was taking a break from his job at the Essex and Sussex Hotel when he encountered the Matawan man-eater. He was swimming roughly 130 yards offshore, basking in the warmth of the sewage runoff that New Jersey residents call the ocean when something grabbed him and pulled him under the waves. When his head broke the surface, he began screaming for help. On the beach, a woman flagged down a nearby lifeguard, telling him that a red canoe had capsized and the owner of the boat was struggling to swim to shore. In reality, the red hull she thought she saw just under the surface was the blood of Charles Bruder, who was still in the process of being torn to shreds.
Fuck.
2 lifeguards launched a small boat into the water and rowed towards the grisly scene. When the lifeguards arrived, they quickly saw that the situation was much more dire than they initially realized. The first indication that something was amiss was the color of the water. Instead of the muddy brown color they were accustomed to, it was bright red. The second clue that this wasn't a boating accident was the massive fucking shark swimming away from Bruder's body with multiple pounds of flesh in its stomach.
Fucking hell.
During the initial attack, the shark had bitten Bruder's abdomen, leaving gaping wounds on his torso.
Oof.
After briefly releasing him, it came back for another bite, severing both of his legs just below the knee.
Oh, God. Both of them?
Both of them.
Just ate both his legs at once.
Just
It's a big-ass shark.
Bit both of his fucking legs off. It's actually, from the estimates that I read, it's not even as big as you think it would be. That's just how fucking gnarly sharks are.
God damn.
Charles Bruder died of blood loss before the lifeguards could even reach the shore. So within however long it would take them to row 130 yards to get back to the shore, he had already bled out. So I have a feeling
Missing his
that
fucking legs.
I have a feeling that he was already pretty much dead by the time they
Well, that's
pulled
the
him
thing
into the
with
boat.
water, right? Like, if you're in the water, you bleed forever.
Does that have an effect? Does it
That's
slow
why
down the clotting?
That's why when people cut their wrist, they do it in the bathtub with water.
Oh, I thought that was just because it was like nice and warm and comfortable.
No, yeah, because it keeps the blood flowing. A lot of people cut their wrist, like they'll take pills and cut their wrists, and then they just live because their wrists just coagulate.
Well, are they going across the street or down the street when they do it? Because there's a difference between
I
the
think
two.
both you could survive, but if you're in water, you're not surviving.
I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that had any effect. I mean, it makes sense that it would slow down the clotting. Actually,
It just lets it all flow out.
good to know. At this point, news about the attacks had spread across the syphilis-ridden shores of New Jersey, and local biologists were still dismissing the attacks as flukes, despite the growing body count. With rumors of a man-eating predator prowling the shores, people took to swimming in the freshwater rivers and streams, which were considered safe and totally free of sharks, because after all, sharks can't survive in freshwater, right?
Right.
Absolutely right. Before we go on, let's go ahead and get to some ads real quick.
Oh yeah, let's make some money.
And a good way to keep yourself safe from sharks?
Don't go in the water.
No, you get yourself a good security system.
The Simply Safe system's waterproof.
Simply Safe is waterproof, and I can guarantee that if you get Simply Safe, you will not get attacked by a shark in your home.
Not in your home.
100% guarantee that you will
100%.
not get attacked by a shark in your home if you have Simply Safe. So here's a question. Is there anything more precious than the safety of you and your loved ones?
No.
Of course not, because you're not a fucking monster like John Lennon. So
Yeah.
isn't it strange that not all home security companies truly put you first? Old school home security companies set you up with an outdated technology, overcharge you for service, and lock you into binding multi-year contracts. And that's why we here at the Iconoblast podcast use Simply Safe for our home security. Simply Safe protects you with cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back.
Cyberdyne.
Cyberdyne Systems. Which model is it again?
101.
Model 101. Yeah, that's the newest one that
newest
they
model,
just
yeah.
released.
Is living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
As many of you know, Joel and I helped install a Simply Safe home security system at Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer's house, and if it's good enough for an American hero like him, it is good enough for anyone. With around-the-clock professional monitoring, Simply Safe agents call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home. Simply Safe blankets your home in protection with advanced sensors in every room, window, and door. They have HD security cameras for inside and outside your home and even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home, like sharks. Mm-hmm. Ethan Hunt and Danny Ocean couldn't even beat this security system. Their monitoring experts use proprietary advanced response technology to visually confirm when a break-in is real, so you can get the highest priority police dispatch. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/icon. Go today and claim a free indoor security system plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/icon. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Fuck yeah. For like an extra $20, you can get the Emimetic Polyalloy. Not even a shark can bite through that.
And next up, we have Ghost Bed. As usual, we love Ghost Bed. Not only have they been a loyal sponsor of the Drinkin' Bros for over 69 months, they have the most comfortable mattresses you will ever sleep on. And I still vouch for that because I fucking love my Ghost Bed mattress. Every mattress has a 20-year warranty. Some even have a 25-year warranty. And you can try it out for 101 nights, which is more time than you need to realize that these are the best mattresses you have ever fucking slept on. If for some reason during that time you decide you don't want to sleep like a baby every night, you can return the mattress with no questions asked. One of our favorite things about Ghost Bed is that each mattress has cooling technology in it, so if you live in the South like we do, or if you have a lot of hot bodies in your bed, these things are a lifesaver.
You've been getting a lot of hot bodies in your bed lately.
Yeah, I got 3 dogs now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about.
I'm sure you were. GhostBed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need. You don't even really have to think about it. Just choose from one of their 4 mattresses and then pick your bundle. So whether you want a mattress, whether you just want the mattress and a frame, or you want it all, like their amazing pillows and sheets, you will always get the best bang for your buck. Seriously, you got to get the adjustable base. If you're going to get a GhostBed, you have to get the adjustable base.
It's badass.
It's the fucking Ferrari of bed frames.
Yeah. Well, I tell this too. Like, if you are poor, like most of us, and you're not sure if it's worth getting, just get a pillow.
Oh, even the pillows
Like,
are fucking
you'll have the
amazing.
pillow for about 24 hours, and you'll buy a ghost bed.
Yeah.
Because the beds are better than the pillows.
You will take out a mortgage on your home and buy as many ghost
no, but
beds
it's
as
only
you possibly can.
It's like 30. What is it? 30?
Oh yeah, they're not even super expensive. You can get
Yeah,
them
it's
for
cheap.
it's like
35
as low
bucks
as
a month.
$35 a month.
Yeah.
They could charge 10 times that amount, and it's still worth it. Those, dude, with
They're
the
great.
adjustable
Yeah.
base,
Dude,
it
the last
vibrates,
episode-
it inclines, declines. Like you can raise the legs. You can. It's got lights underneath it.
Oh yeah, it looks like a cool
Yeah.
racer car.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say that. Is it? Well, no, I guess.
Is that
yeah.
racist now? Drink.
Rice, yeah, drink. But no, I know exactly what you're saying.
But yeah, on our last episode, if you watched it, our guest Ruben was like the best ghost bed ad you could get. He actually has bought in all that shit.
Oh, he's got
He
the.
said he said it fixed his back, and like when he traveled, he came here. He's from Pennsylvania,
and he
brought a
brought
ghost
a
bed pillow
with
with
him.
I love
That's
that.
how good they are.
Yeah, I love that.
They really are good. I've gotten to the point where now if I sleep in any other bed, I'm sore when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
So I have to, spend a couple nights at home to get rid of the soreness.
I don't think you're sore from other things going on, but
I mean, it's a combination of the two. But if it was in a ghost bed, I wouldn't be sore at all.
true.
I can tell you that from experience. Right now, Ghost Bed is offering 40% off Ghost Bed bundles where you get a mattress and adjustable base, or 30% off your entire order when you use the promo code DrinkinBros at ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros. You can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans for up to 60 months. Go check it out at ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros. Ghostbed. Sleep so good, it's scary.
Boom shakalaka.
And boom goes the dynamite. All right, so when we last left off, some people got eaten, and everybody was,
It was scary.
Swimming in fresh water.
It's because they're
avoiding the
underwater and you
saltwater.
can't fucking see them. It makes it 10 times more scarier.
Absolutely.
I mean, bears are scary. I don't want to get attacked by a bear.
If you had to choose between getting attacked
Bear.
by a bear, or, bear. I mean, that's like
At least I see it.
For some reason, that's an easy choice to make. I would much rather be attacked by a bear than a shark.
Yeah, same with alligators are just as scary to me.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the water, humans are not meant to be in water.
Yeah.
Every time we go in water, we are just fucking rolling the dice and we are spitting in the
going into
face of
space.
God.
We're not supposed to be in space either.
If you had to choose between getting eaten by a shark, attacked by a bear, or getting like blown out of an airlock in space,
Blown out of an airlock in space.
I would choose getting blown out of an airlock in space. Nature is scary as fuck, dude.
But if aliens, like the aliens from Aliens, an alien,
Mm-hmm.
if that's what's in space,
If you got blown out of an airlock, you'd be dead in a
no,
matter
I'm
of
just saying
minutes.
if space had aliens like the one from Alien, that's hiding in the shadows all the time, I would still pick that over a fucking shark.
Fuck, I would too. Honestly, I would much rather be.
You just have a better chance of survival on land.
Even
I think that's all it is.
Even if the chance of death was 100%, if it was like you're given the option of you're going to be executed and you're being given the
do
option
you
of
wanna die?
choosing
By an
which
alien,
horrible way you want to die,
alligator or a shark or a bear or a gun. Well, the gun makes it
yeah,
easy.
okay, well, yeah, that's because those are so familiar and safe, and I mean not
In
safe.
the water
but-
is the scariest, I guess. 'Cause
Absolutely.
you can't see anything. And
Yeah.
and you're helpless because you can't move.
yeah. I would much rather.
I'd rather try to fight a bear and get killed, like the end of Legends of the Fall,
Or like the Revenant.
or like the Revenant. Although I really enjoyed that film, but fucking bear looked fake.
You think so?
Oh God.
I thought it looked pretty good.
Well, I saw it first on a rip that was low quality, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a real bear, and then I went and saw it the next day in the theater, and I was like, "Oh God, it's like CGI and shitty."
I guess it's been a while since I've seen it because I thought it was
Most
fairly
people liked
convincing.
it, but it's a convincing scene. I just hate CGI.
I do too. I think that we
'Cause I'm
both.
old.
Well, I think we
We've
both
talked
see it
about
the
this.
same way. Where it's something that you use. It's like a condiment as opposed to the main dish.
Yeah.
You need to just spice up something
Jurassic
real.
Park, good example of
Perfectly
the
done.
perfect amount of CGI and practical effects.
That came out in like 1995,
still holds up.
and it looks better than like some of the Marvel movies that are coming out.
Yeah. T2, another example of the right mixture of CGI and practical effects. You need both.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. I mean, even so, like Wolf of Wall Street, I think is a good example because you don't even realize that there's CGI in Wolf of Wall Street.
lot, too.
There's a lot of CGI in Wolf of Wall Street because they used it the right way,
Yeah.
where it's just
It's not. Yeah.
it's a condiment, just something to spice things up and fill out the overall flavor.
Yeah.
So Thomas Cottrell is actually kind of close to the Captain Quint character in Jaws,
Okay.
but there's actually a completely different captain that Captain Quint was actually based on.
Okay.
I should have put his name in the notes, but there was an actual captain that Quint was based on who was a shark hunter. So Thomas Cottrell, the captain of a fishing boat, was standing on a small bridge spanning Matawan Creek around 11 miles from the ocean. 11 miles inland from the ocean in a freshwater creek when he saw a large figure gliding through the water.
Fuck. Fuck that.
It's fucking horrifying. Cottrell was familiar with the local fish species, such as chain pickerel and striped bass, both of which average around 2 feet in length, so he knew something was wrong when he watched the 10-foot-long shadow glide underneath the bridge.
10 feet?
10 feet long.
It's huge.
Yeah, big enough to bite 2 legs off in a single
How'd it
bite.
get in a creek?
Well, I mean, by creek, it's probably, a good 30, 40 feet wide.
It's like that
little
fucking
bit
game.
closer to
Remember
a,
that shark
to a
game you
river.
were playing?
Oh,
How you
dude,
could bounce on
I
land?
think it was just called Maneater. That game is fucking great.
Yeah,
I love
good
that.
fun.
That was one of the last games that I actually beat.
You played it till you beat it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I even went around and got all the achievements and shit because the
Holy
game was
shit.
just fun. So the Guadalupe River here in Texas.
Guadalupe.
I was just talking to
Wait,
Jack.
that was drink,
Oh, yeah.
right? I did an accent because that's culturally insensitive. It's not racist, but it's insensitive, right?
Yeah, close enough. I mean, I'll take any reason to drink. I'm gonna have to take a swig out of this because I just finished my beer.
Guadalupe.
So the first time that
me with his machete.
are you gonna make us drink again?
It's the same one.
Okay, so it's
I
still
didn't stop.
okay.
Yeah,
Counts as the same thing.
same one.
So the first time that I ever went river floating here in Texas, where you just get in an inner tube and float down the river and drink
Yeah.
all day. As I stated earlier, I've got a little bit of a fear of water. I'm not afraid of drowning.
There's
I'm just
sharks in
afraid-
there.
Don't spoil the surprise. So I don't go in the ocean, and even in some lakes, I'm a little uncomfortable. But small little rivers, I was like, there's no way there's anything super dangerous in here. We don't have alligators. There's
This is a 10-foot
obviously
shark in a creek.
obviously not any sharks in the Guadalupe River here in Texas, 30 minutes from where we live. Less than a week after I did that river float and spent like an entire day just swimming around and splashing in the water, somebody caught a 4-foot-long bull shark in that fucking river. Here in Texas, roughly 30 minutes from where we live, somebody caught a fucking bull shark.
How? Someone put it in there.
No. The thing about bull sharks is they can survive in freshwater and saltwater. They've caught bull sharks like
How do
bull
they
sharks
get
have,
there?
have gotten
Because
they
they're
just
already there.
no they swim from the ocean up the rivers. They can go from saltwater to freshwater, and literally any river that is
We should
connected.
breed bull sharks and release them into all the rivers of Austin.
There's a Dolph Lund, I think it was Dolph Lundgren.
Lundgren?
There's a movie called I think it's called Shark Lake, where that's what somebody does is they dump a bunch of sharks
That's
into a lake.
Great idea. We could get.
Dude,
No offense to you being on the river, but I believe anybody who's in a fucking inner tube on the river or sitting on the river drinking all day in the sun deserves to be eaten by a shark. So I'm I'm gonna breed my own bull sharks and release them into the Austin River and get as many kills as I can.
Just don't put them in Lady Bird Lake because that's like one of my last places that I can go and feel at peace.
Is the lake completely itself contained?
Well, I mean, technically it's part of the Colorado River, but yeah, there's no way for anything to get.
What about the river right here, the one that goes through downtown Austin?
That's Lady Bird Lake.
I'm filling that with fucking.
God damn it! No,
go
you
somewhere
not
else.
that one, dude. Go dump him in the Guadalupe
That's
River.
the one that I know that I don't like anyone I've ever seen.
I go out there.
But that's your fault. I'm warning you. I'll let you know when I do it.
No, dump him in. Like, go dump him in Lake Travis.
But I don't hang out there.
You don't hang out
by the river all the time, especially when the ladies in town.
But you don't
And
go
everyone I
out
see
in
is
the
like,
water.
"Ugh," and they're playing shitty music. Everybody that's out there paddling around, they play fucking dance music.
You're going to the wrong. You're going to the wrong part. You're on the
It's
north
all the
side.
same part to me.
Go as far south as you
I'm putting the
can,
sharks
close
in.
to where the dam is.
You see how far they can swim.
Well, yeah. If you put one in the lake, then even just one, it's going to have access to the entire fucking place.
It's happening.
God
It's
damn it.
it's my new goal in life. Oh, I would love it. Could you imagine if you actually raised a bunch of baby bull sharks and then released them into the river, and like a year later, once they got big enough, they were getting kills?
Oh, dude.
That'd be so fucking cool. That's like a movie.
So
It's
being
a new Jaws movie idea.
being totally honest, if you did that, I would go hang out on the shore next to the sandbar and just watch and wait until somebody goes and eats all those fucking people that play their goddamn EDM all fucking day.
What is the fucking deal?
And just sit there
when
and
I went to the
piss in
Ozarks,
the water all
I went to
fucking
the
day.
Ozarks for work, and literally every boat just blasts shitty dance music all fucking day. Every time I had to do bullshit, fucking the shit that you like now for some fucking reason. With my ex, we would go out and paddle out somewhere or kayak out somewhere. Every single motherfucker.
You go where the people.
Why are you doing that? It's supposed to be nature.
Oh yeah,
time.
it's obnoxious as fuck. But you go where the people aren't. Like anytime
I'm filling it with sharks. If I can,
anytime I go out on the lake, I find the least populated place.
Yeah, like when,
and that's where I go and
being
hang
in
out.
high school again. It's like that was like my maneuver in high school. Get away from all the fucking jocks and idiots, football players and dickheads, and hide in the corner by the fire hydrant and smoke weed with your friends that are all nerds and weirdos.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that again. I had a horrible time.
Well, what's the other option? You just don't go anywhere?
Just don't go on the fucking river because it's full of bull sharks in about a year.
So you're going to let all those people with their shitty music stop you from enjoying something?
I have never met a single person that does that shit that I like, ever. In my life. No, this is a new fucking thing. It's going to pass.
Well, I mean, once it gets cold, I'm not going to go anymore until it warms
stupid.
up again.
I think it's dumb. Being on the water as a human is fucking dumb.
Okay, it's an unnatural place for people to be, but I mean, like flying's
It's
not natural
basic
for
bitch
humans.
shit, dude. It's jocks, losers, and retards that hang out on a fucking river. Saying it here.
I'm just saying that
And they're all
I
gonna get
enjoy
eaten by
doing that.
my baby bull sharks. And they're all gonna have names and markings so I know which ones did what when they get caught or killed.
Are you gonna have little
I'm gonna
like
tag
as
them
soon
and
as they
mark
kill
them. I'm
something,
gonna
you
have
go over and you
it'll be like Uber.
you tattoo like kills on the side of them.
Dude, I'll put tracking devices on all of them, and there'll be an app called Bull Shark River or Bull Shark Austin, and you can watch where all the sharks are.
Put GoPros on them, then like hook up a little system where they
They
live
would
stream.
need solar power to stay going. But the tracking devices could be
that's
real.
true.
Those
No,
you could track shark. They do that now.
there's a company that sells like some stupid bracelet or some shit like that has like when you buy a bracelet, you get access to a live GPS tracking of a shark.
That's sick. I've heard
So
about this.
you get a code where you can just go online or
That's what I'm
you
talking
open up
about.
this application and it'll show you exactly where that shark is in the world and you can see where it's swimming around and doing shit.
I bet you it's not even illegal to do this.
What to release
Sharks into the water and track them for like an app on your phone.
if you're releasing them into if you take a
You mix
species
it
that
with-
if you
mix
take a
it with
species
other
that
stuff.
if you take a species that isn't endemic to the area and you introduce it to the environment, then I'm pretty sure that's against the law.
But like, how bad is it?
I mean, there's
Is it like jail time? Am I going to get a fee?
If you go to jail for releasing a bunch of bull sharks into a populated lake, I think that's it. Doesn't matter how bad the jail time is. That's like a fucking flex. That's a good story. Like, what are you in for? I bred a bunch of sharks and released them into a lake.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You ever heard of the Uber Bull Shark? That's my app. It's responsible for like 45 deaths.
I'm a millionaire, but I can't spend my money on anything because I'm in prison.
Would that be committing murder in a way?
I'm sure that it wouldn't be murder. I think that you would be charged with manslaughter.
You think they would actually charge you for that? Like if you release a shark into the ocean?
If you release a predator into a populated area and it ends up killing somebody?
They do that with snakes all the time.
What? Who does?
Dude, that's like a fucking huge, horrible problem in like Florida and shit. Like people get pet snakes, and then they get too big, so they just let them go.
Are they like rattlesnakes or
rattlesnakes,
cottonmouths?
boas, all that shit? People release their snakes into the wild all the time.
Well, I mean, Florida
I had to have a big tank with a bunch of pet sharks, and then I can't handle it, so I let them go.
Florida is wall-to-wall snakes and alligators and meth heads. So I don't think they're going to be able to track that back to any specific person.
How do I get big?
If you released a bunch of bull sharks into Lady Bird Lake and they were able to trace it back to you, yes, it would be very, very much a crime.
I don't think they could get you for murdering people.
No, it wouldn't be murder. It would be no, it'd be manslaughter.
Like, well, how did you not know if the app is like?
Wait, so you have a literal application for tracking all of the sharks that you released into a lake in the middle of one of the biggest cities in Texas.
And if they get a kill, you get money.
And you're telling me that that's not manslaughter? That is absolutely manslaughter. No, at that point,
what if the goal wasn't to kill? It is though.
Well, so at that point, like now that's like second degree murder.
I know what to do.
That might even be first degree.
No. You make the app is called Uber Polywogs, and you just hold it down to the end. I thought they were polywogs, sir.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know they were bull sharks.
I don't even know what polywogs are. I just assumed that these were polywogs.
Yeah, and the app is your proof. Like it's called Uber Polywog, and it's so you could track the fun little polywogs until they turn into frogs. I didn't know they were bull sharks.
Johnny Cochran was able to prevent O.J. Simpson from getting convicted of murder.
Are you telling me you wouldn't want to fucking see bull sharks killing people in Austin? They deserve it.
Oh yeah, just
people here suck.
Just not somewhere that I want to go.
Go somewhere else. You're so selfish.
It is way too much of a drive. Like I would have to go all the way up to fucking Lake Travis. And that's like an hour fucking drive from where I live.
It takes like 30 minutes to get there.
Not from where I live. That's like an hour drive. To get to Lady Bird Lake, I can get there in like 15 minutes.
Well, it's worth it for the deaths we'll get to see. Imagine a couple people you don't like, and if you got to watch them die.
Okay, so I know... All right,
we're going off tangent way too long.
I know what you're getting at, and I'm with you. But Lake Travis would, if you released them into Lake Travis, it would do the same thing. It would. Yeah, but it would eventually get the job done.
When I went to Lake Travis, I had a good time. So I'm not mad at Lake Travis. I'm mad at the river.
I've had a bunch of good times on Lady Bird Lake.
The river's so much longer. It goes everywhere. It goes to Lake Travis.
No, but there's a...
Oh, they'll get through that.
Wait, so yeah, even if you release them in Lake Travis, they're going to get down to my spot on
eventually.
Lady Bird. Fuck.
As long as they keep breeding.
Okay, then I would have to move out of Austin and find somewhere else anyway. Yeah, as soon as I can.
Or you can just quit being a fucking loser and quit hanging out on the river.
Do not judge me.
The only reason why we're still friends is because we've been friends for too long and you get a free pass.
Well, apparently I don't get a free pass because you're going to try and take my peaceful time on Lady Bird Lake away from me.
I'm only talking about our friendship. I'm putting if I could, I would have already done it. I know it's a fantasy.
Just if you're
talking about this too long, but I think it would be fucking amazing if people started dying by shark attacks in Austin.
Dude,
I fucking deserve it. And you know Tim Dillon he'd be the happiest man alive.
He'd be laughing his ass off because Tim Dillon feels the same way about Austin that we do.
I think everyone feels that way about Austin, except for all the fucking losers on their lake.
I like paddleboarding on Lady
You're
Bird
a
Lake.
loser.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's one thing in my life
you're a
that brings me
basic
some
bitch.
fucking joy and some fucking peace.
Well,
I apologize for that, and I will go back to being miserable all the time.
thank you.
You're welcome. But if you're going to release any sharks in the lake, just let me know beforehand.
Nah. I think it's better if you don't know.
Come on.
Because it makes it more exciting to be out there.
No, it doesn't. The reason that I'm comfortable out there is because I know there's not any fucking sharks.
All right. No sharks in the lake for now. I'll wait till you move.
Well, just if you're going to do it, just give me some notice.
If I leave town, I did it. That's your notice.
You could do that for a million fucking reasons.
If I leave town, it's because I put a bunch of bull sharks in the river.
What, like permanently, or if you take a trip out of town?
No, permanently, because I don't want to get in trouble for it, you know?
You have
Never
to
come back to the
You
scene of
have to
crime.
tell me if you do it or not.
How am I going to get bull sharks? Is that a real thing? Can you get a baby bull shark pet?
I don't think that not legally, but I mean, there's a lot of things that you can get illegally.
If I can get a bull shark, I will release it in the river and I'll film it and send it to you. And I'll post it on our YouTube channel as like a
Okay, now
cool
if you
behind-the-scenes
do that,
post.
you're definitely going.
No, I'm just going to release
definitely
it.
going to jail.
No,
You
I don't
can't.
think so.
You can't release a non-endemic predator into a fucking environment.
I'm sure you can.
Well, I mean, you can, but you're definitely going to get in trouble for it.
Eventually.
There is no way that is not against the law.
I'll just change my last name again.
You're posting it on your social media.
No, I'm on YouTube, on the YouTube channel.
So what? It's going to get.
It'll be your
Trace-
fault, and then I'll be gone. Oh, yeah, I'll say, I'm Coop Nukem, and here's my thing. Woo! And I'll wear
my name's Coop Nukem.
Yeah,
I'm going to release
I'll have
this
a
shark
fake
into a
mustache
lake.
on, and I'll wear your glasses. Then I'll have a fucking paddleboard in my arm.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Do it. I don't even care at this point.
You know it's a good idea.
I think it's an interesting idea. I wouldn't necessarily call it a good idea.
It's an excellent idea.
It's an entertaining idea. Entertaining things
Fair.
can be good or bad.
It might not be better for the world, like phones and entertainment and TikTok.
Releasing sharks into a lake in the middle of a
has
city
no one ever
is
done
like
this?
a cell phone.
Yeah, Uber Polywog. Download the app.
No, I don't think anybody has ever purposely released bull sharks into a freshwater lake
To
that
kill
is.
people?
I can pretty much guarantee you that has never happened outside
You thought of it,
movies.
there's a porn of it, though.
Well, that's Rule 34 of the internet. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't jerk off to it, but I don't think it's ever happened.
Holy shit. If we make a shit ton of money off this podcast, I will spend the money to get a bunch of bull sharks illegally, and I will put them in a lake somewhere.
Okay, if we're making that much money, then
Just to see if they actually kill people.
if we're making that much money off of the show, I'm going to be getting out of Austin anyway. So yes, at that point, release an entire fucking swarm of bull sharks into Lady Bird Lake. I don't care.
I want to see if they'd actually kill somebody.
Oh, they absolutely would.
That's awesome.
Like, no question. With the amount of people that hang out in Lady Bird Lake,
Yeah.
if you could release one bull shark into Lady Bird
Probably
Lake,
get a couple kills
it's-
before they killed it.
it's at least going to, at the very,
There's a lot
very
of guns
least.
out here. It's Texas.
Dude, guns don't work all that well in water. Bullets don't even travel all that
Not
far.
that
in
far,
water.
yeah. A couple feet.
And by the time that anybody realizes that there's a bull shark in Lady Bird Lake, the only reason that they're going to know is because it fucking bit somebody's leg off.
That's awesome.
And if you release, like,
It would make a new Jaws movie for sure. It'd become a film after.
no, they already made it. It's called Shark Lake. So it's not even a new idea. But
Well,
I would still,
you would fully support me. You have to.
I would,
What
I
if
can't say-
what if I was obsessed with it? Like, dude, I gotta do this.
that's your life's goal.
Yeah, but just for some reason I cracked a little and was like, I'm gonna kill a bunch of people in Austin with sharks. It's never been done. Going down in history, and this is my way to get there. And I was just I turned into a weird mad scientist who was
All
doing
right. If
all
you
this
went
weird
if
shit
you went
and-
full blown mad scientist and you were like, I got a connection to get a bunch of bull sharks. I'm going
Gotta
to take
do
these
this.
bull sharks and I'm going to dump them into Lady
I'm gonna
Bird
make it
Lake.
more aggressive.
You're going to genetically engineer them to make
I'm going to
them.
inject them with
You're going to do the deep blue sea thing where you're going to make them even smarter,
More
increase the size of their brain, and make them super intelligent,
or just super violent.
And then release them into ladybird. Bull sharks don't even need steroids.
But if
they
they
are
got
so
steroids.
fucking aggressive already.
Okay.
I mean, if you put them on steroids, they'd probably you'd put them on steroids. They would get like some acne on their back and chest, and they would
kill 10% more.
Yeah, maybe roughly 10.
Or they might kill each other.
There would be a whole lot more.
Are they violent towards each other?
A whole lot more date rape on Ladybird Lake than there already is if you released that much testosterone into the water.
So I'd have to God, this is the longest tangent I think we've ever done.
I know it's getting ridiculous, but I'm too locked into
10 bull sharks, so they don't kill each other when they're on steroids and shit. I'd have to drop one off every 2 miles down the river.
Yeah, you could probably release them all together. No, because what you want to do is you only want.
Are they pack? Do they have pack culture, pack mentality?
No, no, they're
all
pretty
lone
solitary.
wolves.
But if you want the cream to rise to the top, release them all together in one close area.
So you can watch it happen.
But then only the strongest of the bull sharks are going to get out of that. The strongest and most aggressive. It's going to be natural selection where they're going to fight with each other. And then the strong ones, the strong and aggressive ones are going to go out. That's where you're going to get your highest body count.
If you starve them for a while first too, and then release them on a big party day where there's 1,000 people on the lake.
Yeah, pretty much every Sunday.
You just rip a speedboat and just as you pass the people you don't like, you just drop a shark.
Just chucking sharks
Keep going.
off the back of the
Anytime
fucking
you see
speedboat.
that fucking bullshit
No, I could tell
dance
you
music, you drop a shark.
No, I could tell you the exact spot to drop it, and that's right next to the sandbar. And it's just deep enough because most shark attacks happen in roughly 4 feet of water.
Perfect.
That's where you're going to get your body
That's
count.
my new life goal. I'm sorry.
I hate to say it, but
sorry for everyone for that long ass tangent.
I'm not sorry because we're making some plans right now, and I'm actually getting behind your plan. So anyway, Captain Cottrell, this fisherman that was standing on a bridge.
Oh yeah, we're talking about real incidents of shark attacks.
So he saw a 10-foot long shadow swimming underneath the bridge, which is much larger than anything else that actually naturally lives in the Matawan Creek.
God damn.
And okay, the part of it that trips me out the most, this is 11 miles from the ocean, and that's not even the farthest that a bull.
Upstream?
11 miles inland from the ocean.
Christ.
And that's not even the farthest that they've ever found a shark. They found sharks in the Great Lakes before. Bull sharks have shown up in the Great Lakes before.
They just go. They just migrate. They
Yeah,
just swim
because
in one direction.
they can
for a
go
long
from
time.
saltwater to freshwater. One of the only barriers for most species of sharks is the fact that they have to be in saltwater. So a bull shark can go from saltwater to freshwater, and I mean they find them in a ridiculous amount of rivers. It is terrifying.
Fuck. There's probably one here.
How many
Austin.
bull sharks that you can find in freshwater rivers? I mean, every river is freshwater, but
There's probably one here already.
if there was one in Lady Bird Lake, we would definitely know about it by now because they're that
Well,
aggressive.
It might be a baby.
I mean, it could be a baby. They like I said, they've been caught in the Guadalupe River before.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
It was only 4 feet long, so it was a baby. But a 4-foot long shark that can still fuck you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Captain Cottrell saw that shape swimming underneath the bridge. So what he did was he ran to the police and reported hey, there's a shark in the river. Nobody believed him. He went straight to the police chief and was like, there's a shark in the Matawan Creek. They're like, you're fucking insane. We're 11 miles from the shore.
There's no.
And it's a freshwater creek. And this is also 1916, so people don't know as much about sharks as we do now. Or it's not
common
not
knowledge.
as common knowledge.
But I don't even think it still is that sharks can go that far into inland.
Dude,
I bet you most people don't know that. It's a learning show.
Yeah, I can't imagine that many people would know that because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Why is what does salt have to do with breathing?
Well, it doesn't have
sharks.
anything to do with breathing. It has to do with the way that they absorb and excrete water.
That's how they breathe.
Well, no, the breathing goes through gills, and that it doesn't have anything to do with. So like sea bass is another type of fish that can go from saltwater to freshwater, but it has to do with.
So what happens with, like, if you took a great white and threw it in a lake?
It would die like within a day.
Oh, so it takes some time. It's like,
I mean, it takes.
it's like if you drop a human too high up in elevation where you can barely get any oxygen.
I'd say that's roughly
Close to the
like
same.
kind of a decent equivalent, but humans would be able to acclimate to that. Any shark that can only live in, or any fish that can only live in freshwater,
If you put them in salt water.
if you put them in salt water, they're going to die pretty fast. Anything that can only live in salt water, if you put it in fresh water, it's going to die pretty fast.
Yeah.
They can't acclimate to it. I don't remember what the actual like chemistry or biology is behind it, but yeah, it's just going to fucking kill them.
Did you hear about the scientific test they were doing on pigs? They can breathe from their assholes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what podcast was this on? Was it on? These scientists were doing tests with pigs. Apparently, they can breathe from their ass. Like, they were able to keep a pig alive underwater for 20 minutes by shoving air up their ass. It still died.
So apparently they can't breathe from their ass.
They can, but not efficiently, but it's like this is actually a scientific test they were
It's
doing.
not sustainable.
No. Like, they're having cardiac arrest and shit, but if they keep pumping air up their ass, they like live in a state of severe suffering, but they don't
I was
drown.
gonna say they live in a
Like,
state of
without the
terror.
air, if they don't shove air up their ass, they die in,
Who the fuck?
no idea. I heard this on a podcast. It might not be true.
Okay, I hope it's not true, because the amount of money that it would take to carry that
It's
that
fucked
experiment
up.
out. Like, who came up with that initial idea? Like, okay, so here's my theory. Here's my hypothesis that I want to prove. I want to prove that
Pigs
if you
can
put a
breathe.
pig underwater and you shove a hose in its ass and pump oxygen through that hose, it'll live. And this is gonna propel humanity forward. Not at all. Who the fuck is paying for that?
I think it's probably
I
in China.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually makes sense. Well, if they were doing that experiment in China, they would actually be carrying it out against the Uyghurs, not pigs. I think they have more respect for pigs than they do for Uyghurs over in China.
For what?
Uyghur
that?
Muslims.
Oh. The only thing that came to mind where that would maybe make sense, that there was some lunatic that was obsessed with this stuff. Like,
Some
Well, the only
lunatic
thing that
that's,
came to
that's
my
obsessed
mind-
with shoving a hose into a pig's ass and trying to drown it.
well, there's the turtles with the cloacas they could breathe out of their butts.
Yeah.
Out of their cloacas.
Cloacal breathing or cloacal respiration.
So maybe there's someone in that field that was like, maybe
you know what?
land animals
if
could do
turtles can do it,
pigs could.
pigs can do it. Because the closest thing to a pig is a turtle.
Apparently, though, they kept the pig alive for 20 minutes underwater by shoving air up its ass. I mean, if you shove cocaine up your ass, it hits you way harder. So there is something with the ass.
Yeah, it's called
The ass,
it's called boofing.
but your asshole connects to your blood faster than eating.
Yeah, you can put booze in your ass. It
if
also
you're shoving air
bypasses
up
your
your
liver.
ass, it is technically could put oxygen into your bloodstream. So it makes
Holy
sense.
shit, that's a more efficient way of breathing.
If you could figure it out, if you could master it, like these scientists are trying with pigs.
No, like lepetamine.
Lepetamine, yeah.
I bet lepetamine, he could keep his head underwater and just specifically breathe through his ass.
I bet you he actually could have.
Dude, that...
They're going to try it on humans eventually.
Oh, God, we're doomed as a species. But it's going to be a wild ride until we get there.
That'd be so cool, though, if you were like at a pool party and there was just a bunch of hot chicks' butts. And they were all just underwater hanging out and they're breathing from their butts. That would look cool.
We have some slightly different ideas.
Imagine it in
Slightly
your head.
different
It would look
outlook.
awesome.
I
There's
mean, it would
something
look-
hot about a nice ass, like when they like dive in, or when they're already in, but they like go underwater.
But
and you
yeah,
see
I
just their
mean,
little
picture
cheeks.
it like the asshole is a dolphin's blowhole, and every now and then it's like,
A little oh, that's hot.
okay, yeah.
I mean, fucking.
This is why
Okay, it'd be hilarious.
This is
It's
why.
not hot,
Okay,
it'd be
hilarious, yes, but this is also why.
But also hot because they have nice asses.
And
So
also
you'd be
this
confused.
is why we never compete for women
Completely different tastes.
because we have absolutely different tastes.
Which I love.
Oh, it makes things a whole lot easier.
Well, we would never compete anyway because I'm
Well,
a
there's-
true American
Well, no, mutual respect.
of broship where
Yeah.
if you like someone, I'm done.
If you
That became my sister.
if you plant that flag, no longer
It's
on
a
the
sister
table.
instantly. Yeah.
Okay, so this fisherman
Yeah, I'm sorry.
saw this fisherman sees a shark swimming through the creek.
Tells
Tries-
the police.
tries
the
to
police
go
are like,
tell
you're a
people
fucking
that-
idiot.
So what he did was he actually took matters into his own hands.
Just like in Jaws.
Yeah, close. Not quite as cool, but like a little bit more. If you're looking at it from the surface level, he would have looked like an absolute fucking lunatic, because what he did is running through the streets. Cottrell began shouting that there was a shark in the creek, hoping to prevent yet another death. Again, he was dismissed as a lunatic. So he's literally just running through the streets of the town. There's a shark in the creek. There's a shark in the
So
creek.
everyone
I was
thinks
like,
he's gone insane.
all right, Cottrell, yeah, just go back and have another drink. Because, again, I just
Like
want to...
Belle's dad from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Actually, that is an amazing comparison to make. Because who's going to believe that shit?
Nobody.
You're 11 miles from the ocean in a freshwater creek. A creek. And by, I mean, creek, I'm saying that this is...
It's not a river, but it's a big creek.
It's semantics. I actually spent way too much time trying to figure out what differentiates like a creek from a river, from a rivulet, stream, anything
I
like
thought
that.
it went like creek, stream and a creek are like the same size. They're small. River's a big creek, and then there's a lake where it ends up.
There's actually no specific.
It's not the Amazon Creek. It's the Amazon River because it's fucking huge.
But that's still also so if it's big enough, then yeah, it's obviously a river. But the differentiation between a river and a creek is very, very blurry. I spent way too much time looking into that shit because I thought that there was actually
we're just dumb about how
I thought there was actually specific qualifications.
there should be.
Right? Dude, yeah, that's what I thought too. There's not.
Weird.
Like nobody has
But
figured out the line between
guess
what's
not-
a creek, what's a river, what's a stream. So what's a difference between a stream and a creek? Because a stream has to be smaller, right?
Isn't a stream from a well or something?
No, I mean
Because doesn't a stream mean that there's like a constant? A creek is like runoff from rain. And
no
a stream is
no. That's not even what it is. Like there's no specific like agreed upon differentiation between a stream, a creek, and a river. And that drives me fucking insane.
That actually bothers me a lot.
Right.
And I don't care about
Okay,
this stuff.
I'm surprised that bothers you because it bothers the fuck out of me.
No, I just got pissed off.
There has to be like qualifications. There has to be guidelines for.
Because everything does.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's
called big, medium, small.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting a little too excited over that because I didn't think that you would care about that. But yeah, it
That does
bugs the
bother
shit
me.
out of me that there's
Not
there
as much
is
as you, but it
literally
is
no
weird. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What do you mean?
like there's no specific definition for what a river, a creek,
But doesn't
a
everyone
stream-
think that like
we all
creek
have
is small, river is medium, lake is huge?
yeah. Well, lakes like it's easy to define a lake because a lake's a non-flowing body of water.
Right. A river is
A
big
river
ass
is
creek,
yeah. Well, is it?
as far as I know.
Maybe
That's my definition.
a creek is a small river. I mean, there's
A creek is a small river.
is it though?
Yes. And a river's a big creek.
That's what it should be.
That's what it is.
But at what
To me.
point? At what point does a creek become a river?
I don't know. When you look
Nobody
at it.
does. Nobody knows. And it's fucking insane. It is
If it looks a
absolute,
little scary to
it is
walk in, it's a
absolute
river.
Chaos.
If you can jump across from rock to rock, it's a creek.
There's rivers that you can walk across though.
but only at the part where it's a creek.
Does it become a creek once, like that specific part of the river becomes
That's
a creek?
A creek, yeah.
That is absolute fucking chaos, and that is not the world that I want to live in.
True. It's like when does a city become a town? Is that?
I think there's actually a definition for. Oh, Jesus Christ. There might not be.
It's probably the same, but we know a town. It goes village, town, city. Right?
But there's. I mean, there's.
You throw the small or big.
There's places in New York
small or
that
big.
like Greenwich Village. That's
just
in
a
fucking
title.
New
It's
York.
just a name of a place.
Everything is just the name of a place.
Yeah,
The
but I
world
don't-
is fucking chaos. Nothing
In the
makes
city, if
sense.
there's a place called Village, you know it's part of the city. It's just a cute name.
So what
Or
would you?
maybe a long time ago, before it became a city, it used to be.
We
a
are
little
getting
village
so
area.
far off into the weeds, but I am fucking locked in right now.
Little creek, big creek, little river, big river. That should be how it is. I thought a stream was from like a. I don't know why I thought this, but I thought a stream was from where like a natural spring would happen, or like a underground almost. But there's underground rivers and creeks and shit.
Are they rivers or creeks?
Depends on how big they are. To me,
I mean, that matters to me too, but it's like, okay, so here's a philosophical thought experiment. When does a mountain become a hill? Like if you were,
that's all the same, yeah. But it's that seems more obvious.
is it though?
Yeah, because you can't call. I think it's the same. You can't call a creek a river if it's huge. I mean, you can't call a river a creek if it's huge. No one's gonna understand what you're saying.
Matawan Creek was big enough that a shark was able to swim through it. They had boats in Matawan Creek.
Maybe it was just.
They were
maybe
still
it started
calling it a
as
creek,
a creek, and that was its name. It's like if a little tiny town was called Chody Village, and it became a city.
Chody Village is where my grandpa was born.
But if it grows, that's its name. You know, it's like if you have a nickname, Tiny, because you were big when you were a baby, and then when you became an adult, they still call you Tiny, even though it's a nickname for a baby.
I mean, that's more of an ironic
So
name than
a creek could become a river, but on the maps, in documents, it's been called a creek so long they just keep calling it Chody Creek. You're not going to replace all the maps.
But that still doesn't answer the question of where's the fucking dividing line? Where's the?
It's a gray area, like everything. Like when does a hill become a mountain?
Yeah, it's
when you look
all,
at it and you
all,
think it's a mountain.
It is all fucking chaos.
If it's in between, you say it's like a big hill or a real small mountain. Like what the average person would think if you saw a hill, you know what that is. What the average person would think of a mountain, you know what that is. If it's somewhere in between, you say it's like a really big hill or a tiny mountain.
Okay, so as far as having like a shared reality where we can communicate the
Like if we walk
proper
up to
ideas
a water
that
flow,
that
we're going to
works.
decide if it's a creek or a river together when we see it.
Yeah, there needs to be like some sort of.
You want a mathematical equation breakdown of when it becomes, when is the dead, where's the line in the sand when it's a creek and then becomes a river?
I want to know what the definition is, and there's no definition for those.
Well, what if it's a place where it's a creek in the winter and a river in the summer? You have to pick one.
Well, yeah, if there's
keep changing maps.
If there are guidelines for what is a creek and what is a river. If it grows and shrinks, it gets below a certain size, it's a creek. If it goes above that size, it's a river. Yeah. Okay, cool. What is the size?
But what do you call it?
You would call it a creek when it's a creek. You would call it a river when it's a river.
But that's not how it works with maps and shit.
Oh yeah, and then I can't do this right now.
So you would call it Saint Little Big Creek.
I am literally going to be up all night thinking about this shit. I've done it once before, and it drives me fucking insane.
It is a weird one. The people
'Cause,
that
I mean,
don't
there's-
care about this thinks this is the dumbest conversation we've ever had.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But I
that,
get it.
That we probably
mountain
lost
one,
a solid 500 subscribers at this point.
Mountain, hill, that doesn't bug me. I don't know why, but the creek, stream, it's the stream that fucks it up. What the fuck's a stream?
Dude, that's not even all the words for like small or running bodies of water. That's not even all the words for them.
There must
But
be.
there's got to be definitions for each fucking one.
And there isn't? You looked into this?
No, there's not.
Well, mountains have like different names for different. There's peaks, there's plateaus, there's
Those are-
canyons.
Those are features. They're not the actual object itself.
Right,
I mean,
but they
a
have-
plateau
but
is a
those
little
all
bit
have
different. A
definitions.
plateau or a mesa, that's a little bit
It's a
different.
type
but like,
of mountain or a type of hill.
it's like a geological feature, but the differentiation between a mountain and a hill, that's something else. It doesn't have a specific.
In my mind, a mountain's a triangle and a hill's a circle.
You know what? I like that. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this is going to go on forever. Because I could literally debate this bullshit all night because I'm a fucking idiot.
Let's get back to the topic.
Okay, so back to this Matawan Creek,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is apparently big enough that you can fit boats in it and a shark can fucking swim
river.
in it. It's a goddamn river. It's got to be a fucking river. If you can take a boat, it's a river.
Yeah. I think at some point,
I think
if you go
that's like
upriver enough, it becomes a creek.
A fair definition that if you can put a boat in it,
It's a river.
it's a river. It's not a creek. A creek is too
You can't
shallow.
put a fucking boat in a creek.
Yeah, I mean that. You know what? All right, that's the new official definition. If you can, like, take a boat, it's not a creek.
It's
it is
a
a
river.
river. If you can't take a boat,
I think a stream is
regardless of how wide it is, if you can't take a boat, it's a creek.
deal.
So it would be like a depth.
What's a stream
thing.
then? I think stream is just a direction. Upstream, downstream. A stream is not a river or a creek. A stream is the direction the water's flowing. And you go up it or down it.
I mean, upstream, down. I mean, stream can be like.
That's just the direction the water's going. Is there a stream? Well, it's basically a lake now, but there's a little bit of stream on this river.
Okay, we gotta talk about sharks. We're gonna talk about this more after the episode's over, though, because this is bugging the fuck out
If
of
we have
me.
a Patreon, you can listen to us debate what mountains and rivers and creeks are for 6 hours.
Okay, so Cottrell was running
Johnny
through the
Dick-
streets.
Dickhead is acting like
Johnny
a lunatic.
Dickhead is running through the streets, acting like a lunatic, telling everybody that there's a shark in the creek, which is actually a fucking river, and nobody believed him.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't believe him either. It's 11 miles from the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
So anyway, not far from where Cottrell was frantically shouting warnings at anyone who would pay attention to him, a group of young workers from a local basket factory had just clocked out for the day and were on their way to take a dip and cool off. And these are workers in 1916, so pretty much a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Lester Stillwell was an 11-year-old apprentice working at the basket factory because back in those days, kids had the work ethic.
That's right.
He and his friends made their way to the edge of the Matawan Creek and stripped naked for a little skinny dipping, because also kids back in those days knew how to fucking party.
Then you had to fuck each other.
Stillwell waited. I don't think. Okay. I can't drink anymore, or else it's going to be too hard to get through the last couple pages. Stillwell waded into the water out in front of the group and yelled to his companions, quote, "Hey fellas, watch me float." As soon as the words left his mouth.
You can't not drink. It's a rule.
Okay.
I actually just thought about the chat. They would call you on it if you didn't drink.
Yeah, they would. You just saved me from losing face. So Stillwell yelled out to his companions, "Hey fellas, watch me float." And as soon as the words left his mouth, a dark shape rose out of the water and pulled him under.
Oh, fuck. They ate a kid.
This is just in a fucking... I have to bring it up again. 11 miles from the ocean in a freshwater...
Who was a kid? I
Creek,
take back. I'm not doing
whatever.
the bull shark thing anymore. I don't want to kill any kids.
I don't see that many kids out on Lady Bird Lake. I've seen a whole lot of douchebags out there, though, myself included. Stillwell's horrified coworkers ran through the streets of the town, still completely naked. A group of kids running through the town naked, saying, "Holy shit, Lester just got eaten by a shark." Even that, nobody is going to fucking believe. If I see,
put your clothes on, bitch.
If I see a group of naked
kids?
kids running through the streets yelling anything aside from, "Oh my God, I just escaped from a rapist," I'm not going to believe whatever they're saying.
There's no blood on them. Fuck. They would need blood on them. I believe them.
I would still think that they just got molested, though.
That's
Like,
gross.
it wasn't a shark. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Drink. I'm not. Okay, I'll drink too. But
Well, yeah.
Can't talk about-
If I have to drink, you have to drink.
we're not talking about kids getting raped on this show anymore. I had to.
No,
add
we're not.
anymore. That's what's fucked up.
No, that's not the. It's not the topic of the show. I'm just saying, like, I was using it as a comparison. It was a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't really a metaphor. A group of people gathered at the site of the attack, peering into the water for any signs of the missing boy. Finally, a young man named Stanley Fisher hoisted his massive set of brass balls over his shoulder and dove into the water to find Lester Stillwell.
Damn.
After diving into the murky water, Fisher didn't emerge for a concerning amount of time. He just dove into the water after
Never
a
came
kid
up.
got attacked. Just as the bystanders were beginning to think that they had an additional body to fish out of the water, Stanley emerged, carrying the shredded corpse of Lester Stillwell.
Fuck. He found it.
He actually found
Wow.
the mutilated body of this 11-year-old kid, like
damn.
down at the bottom of the. It's a fucking river. It's not a creek. Found it at the bottom of the river. He had barely made it a few feet towards the shore before he too was pulled underwater.
While holding the corpse?
While holding
Holy
the corpse.
shit!
Picked up the corpse, like pulled the corpse off the, like wherever it was floating in the water, came up and was like, "Hey, found the dead kid," and then he went under too.
Holy fuck.
Nearly the entire town was watching from the shore as Fisher fought for his life against the shark. Despite all of his punching and kicking, the predator sank its teeth into his thigh, ripping away nearly 10 pounds of flesh
Oh.
before bystanders were able to pull him to safety. Within 2 hours, Fisher was dead from blood loss. He was only 24 years old. Less than half an hour later, while Stanley Fisher was still in the process of dying of blood loss, a 14-year-old boy named Joseph Dunn was swimming near a dock with his brother and a few friends. The news of the attack on Stanley Fisher had yet to reach them, leaving them oblivious to the danger lurking in the water. Less than 30 minutes later, and half a mile away,
Went straight there.
then Joseph felt something bump into his leg before he was pulled under.
God damn.
Joseph's brother instantly sprang into action, grabbing his hand and beginning a bloody game of tug-of-war with the 10-foot-long shark. After an agonizing struggle, Joseph was able to break free and get to shore. His left leg had been shredded by the attack, but the quick actions of his brother and his friends prevented the shark from taking a massive chunk out of his leg, as it had done with Stanley Fisher. Joseph was rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors were able to stop the bleeding, saving his life.
Damn.
He was the only survivor of any of these shark attacks.
Fuck.
Following the attacks on Lester Stillwell, Stanley Fisher, and Joseph Dunn, panic gripped the residents of Jersey Shore. Bounties were placed on sharks, and lifeguards were armed with shotguns, and President Woodrow Wilson took a break from being a racist shitbag to dispatch the Coast Guard to hunt down the man-eater.
God damn.
Dozens of sharks were killed following this. It became like a slaughter
Fucking
of
hunt,
any shark that they could find.
Wait, but not just in the river, everywhere.
Everywhere. No, they never found any other sharks in the river. No shark was ever caught in Matawan Creek. Matawan River. It's a fucking river. They
never got the shark?
never caught a shark in the river. The only sharks that they caught were out in the ocean. They caught one shark at the mouth of the river, but it was a few days later. There was no way to tell if that was the actual shark that...
And it stopped killing, though?
After that, the attacks stopped, but there's no way to tell if they actually caught the shark that was responsible for everything. And
Either
they still don't
it
even
just left the river and went back out to sea, or they got it.
I think that it just fucked off out to sea and
yeah.
maybe got caught. So okay, there's
Because if it stayed, it would have kept killing until they killed it.
yeah, it definitely. So
It either left or got killed.
So the first attack against Lester Stillwell and Stanley Fisher, the first two people that got killed it's a fucking river. First two people that got killed in the river.
Excuse me.
After that, the next attack that happened against Joseph
Johnny
Dillon?
Bobak.
Johnny Bobak. That attack was back out towards the ocean. So it attacked two people, and then it was swimming back out towards the ocean.
Downstream.
Yeah.
An ass.
So I think that it went back out into the ocean, and there's no way to tell if it was ever caught.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get into the theories about what type of shark it was. I'm convinced it's a bull shark.
It has to be, right? Isn't that the only shark in freshwater?
So there's theories that...
Was it an alligator?
No, it definitely wasn't an alligator because people saw it. There was plenty of people that saw the shark that was responsible for the attacks, but the knowledge of, or like pictures of sharks weren't super widespread. So the average person wouldn't be able to look at it and be like, oh, that was a great white. That was a bull shark. Obviously it wasn't a tiger shark. So yeah, there was no way for anybody to know what type of shark it actually was. But considering how far...
Now we know, right? Because it's saltwater.
No, we don't know. So there's evidence that great white sharks can actually survive for a certain amount of time in freshwater.
Oh, it could have went up. It started getting sick, so it went back out to the ocean.
And this was within like a matter of hours that it swam into the river, bit a couple people, swam back.
So it could have been anything.
It literally could have been any type of shark. I still lean towards a bull shark. Like I am still very convinced that it was a bull shark. They're aggressive. They're territorial. So great whites will do exploratory bites. Tiger sharks will do exploratory bites. There's pretty much every type of shark is going to do exploratory bites. Bull sharks are very territorial and aggressive. The fact that it like ripped Lester Stillwell to pieces, and then when Stanley Fisher jumped into the water, it went after him also. So that's not exploratory. Like that's aggressive.
That's hungry.
Like a great white, there's a handful of instances where a single great white has attacked a couple people in quick succession. And one of the most horrifying stories I've ever heard about a great white shark attack, which the entire story, the two people that were attacked, like they both died and nobody else was around to see it. But when they were analyzing the bites, what they learned was I think it was a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend. It was off the coast of Santa Barbara, like very close to where we used to live, where I used to live back in the day. So they estimate that it was probably about like 18 to 20 foot great white.
Ugh.
Came up, attacked. I think it attacked the woman first, literally bit her in half. And then while it was working on her body, the other person, or whichever it was, whether it was the man or the woman first, attacked one person, started eating them, and then stopped, went over, killed the second person, went back, ate more of the first body, and then went back and ate the second body. So one person who was involved in that attack had to watch all of that shit go down, and then while they were trying to get away, came over, killed them, went back to the first body, had a little bit more of a snack, and then went back to the second body. And the bite marks show that it was between like 18 and 20 feet, which is like on the very, very high end for great whites. Yeah, dude, sharks are fucking terrifying. They're absolutely fucking terrifying. So the identity of the shark responsible for the attacks has never been definitively determined, and it has been speculated that it was a sand tiger shark, a blue shark, a great white, or a bull shark. During the shark hunting frenzy that followed the attacks, multiple species were caught in the area. Less than a week after the final attack, a Barnum and Bailey lion tamer named Michael Schleiser caught an 8-foot juvenile great white shark in Raritan Bay, only a few miles from Matawan Creek. When the shark was cut open, 15 pounds of human flesh were found in its stomach. But regardless of the evidence, the topic is still debated to this day. So it could have been a juvenile great white shark that did it. To me, that still just doesn't make sense. So they finding human flesh and considering the attacks that had happened before that, also considering the fact that it's
where did that flesh come from then?
Dude, it's off the coast of the Jersey Shore. There's bodies getting dumped in that water all the fucking time, and sharks are going to eat anything. And this is in 1916, so I mean that could have been like a fucking mob hit. Somebody just dumped a body in the water, and the great white came along and ate part of the body. I'm still really convinced that it's a bull shark, just considering 2 attacks in quick succession that far inland. Even if a great white shark could, it is realistic to believe that a great white shark could swim that far up a freshwater stream, and then swim back out to the ocean.
A freshwater stream.
It's a fucking river. I think it had to have been a bull shark. It had to have been a bull shark because I can't
I don't give a fuck what kind of shark it is.
Oh, it's all
fuck that shit.
It's all fucking scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had to have been a bull shark. Because of how aggressive the attacks were, having 3 attacks in quick succession, like within a matter of maybe 2 hours.
It's fucking crazy.
So from the first attack on Lester Stillwell, the second attack on Stanley Fisher, and then the third attack on Joseph Dunn, in that amount of time, I don't think that there's any other instances of a great white doing that. Great whites can be aggressive, but they're nowhere near as aggressive as bull sharks are.
Yeah.
And again, considering that it was fresh water, bull sharks are very accustomed to going from freshwater to saltwater.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it was a bull shark.
Crazy. It's weird that it only happened that one time, though. Like, you would think that if it was that easy to get there and stuff, that would happen more often.
There's a lot of shark attacks on the East Coast, especially around Florida. Florida has a surprising amount of shark attacks. I would think that there's more shark attacks off the coast of California, considering the concentration of great whites. But most of them seem to occur off the coast of Florida.
There's a lot of swampland there too, so they probably do come into the swamps.
I'm not sure if there must be bull sharks around Florida. I've never looked it up. I know that I think there's
lots of alligators.
Lots of those. Lots of snakes too. I'm honestly surprised that there's not more shark attacks off the coast of California, because you can find a ridiculous amount of, it's like a new popular thing on social media where drone operators will fly the drone with the camera just over the surf right off the coast. And you'll see all these people swimming in the water and surfing, and there's sharks within like 100 feet of them. Great whites within like 100 feet of them. So considering that there's that much interaction with great whites that close to the shore in California.
Great whites don't want to eat humans.
Yeah,
for some reason, luckily.
Very luckily.
Until that changes.
But bull sharks, you can find there's a really, really famous video that was shot during Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, where a guy they were in the middle of a bunch of bull sharks in like 3 feet of water, and the guy was talking about like, oh yeah, if you're just here standing still and not doing anything, they're totally going to ignore you, and then one of them rips off his entire fucking calf. So yeah, it was a bull shark.
God, I hate watching those videos of when the animals attack humans, because it happens so fast. Like the alligator ones. Did you see the one recently that came out? It was like they were like rehabilitating an alligator or a crocodile in a zoo, and there was like a girl. She looks like she's fucking 18.
Oh yeah.
And it just barely gets like her fingers.
I thought that was like during a birthday party or something. I thought it was.
I don't know what it was.
Show.
It was something where it was like in a little tiny fucking, looked like a bathtub, like a big bathtub, like a small jacuzzi, but a big
like a shallow raised
big
pool.
bathtub, but a small jacuzzi, not quite like a creek or a river. It wasn't a bowl.
Dude,
it wasn't a bowl. It was more like a tub, but a big tub. It wasn't a bowl of water. It was like a tub
This show
of water,
is going to be another fucking
bigger...
hour long if you get me into that fucking debate.
It wasn't a pool. It was like a bathtub, but a bigger bathtub. A small pool.
Okay, so it would be a small pool, but a large bathtub.
But anyway.
No, hang on.
You see that fucking alligator.
I need to do some math.
It gets her
How
hand.
deep was it?
2 feet. It gets her hand, and it does that spin.
All right, 2 feet.
Do you remember that?
Times...
Coop.
What was the width?
I don't know.
This is important.
But it does the fucking spin.
Oh yeah, her
with her
arm.
Fucking hand.
Her arm was.
But she
broken as.
She rolls with it.
Yeah,
and
dude.
video
But
cuts
when you
out.
watch the
I never
video,
saw the whole video.
Well, you can watch the video up until they. Some other guy runs in and helps get.
I haven't seen that. I only saw the first spin of the fucking alligator.
Her arm is broken as fuck.
She probably
For
lost
sure.
her function of her hand too.
I mean, she must have, but her forearm was definitely broken as fuck.
Ugh.
Just don't fuck with animals.
You see the one with the guy fucking with the lion, and it gets his finger.
Oh yeah,
it just rips all the flesh off the finger.
Yeah.
Did you see the one with the monkey? Grabs the guy.
Where it tries to pull him in, or the one
Yeah.
where the monkey jerks off and throws the jizz at the people?
Both are cool.
I know. I thought both of them.
No,
were
the
funny.
one where he grabs him and is like yanking on him.
Dude, yeah,
So
it was a
scary.
Orangutan that did that one.
Yeah.
Which those are,
I don't know what happened to him because it cuts
generally-
away on Instagram all the time.
Orangutans are generally pretty fucking mellow.
It didn't even
compared
look.
to
It didn't look
chimpanzees.
upset. Like it looked like it was just trying to
Dude,
hang
and
out with
they
him.
are so
But it's so
fucking
strong.
strong.
He's just like
so
you can tell, like,
insanely fucking strong.
everything. Just a little pull. It wasn't even like looking at it. It was kind of like just doing, just fucking around.
God damn it.
It was like gonna rip that guy through the fence. Animals are still
The
scary.
only thing that is keeping us at the quote unquote top of the food chain is the fact that we can develop weapons.
Yeah.
Because everything else about humans, we cannot compete with animals.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
It's fucking insane. Well, let's close it out for now.
Yeah, fuck this.
I got to go to the bathroom, and holy shit, this episode's probably running a little bit long, but
Yeah, 2-hour episode. Sorry, guys.
yeah, there was a whole lot of debate. I think it was all good shit, though.
I don't know. I think the bull shark raising and killing Austin Knights, that went too long, so I'm sorry for that. That was
No,
my
what
fault.
was the most important part of the episode was making sure that everybody knows there is no definition between a river or a creek or a stream or a rivulet
or a hill
runoff,
or a mountain
hill,
or a
mountain.
bathtub or a jacuzzi or a pool or a lake.
When you look deep enough into any topic, nothing fucking makes
Well,
sense.
what's the difference between like a puddle and a lake? When does a puddle become a lake? When does a puddle? What's a reservoir or a lake?
Well, I mean, a reservoir has a definition. A puddle in a lake,
What's a natural reservoir?
natural reservoir.
Isn't that just a lake?
I mean, a reservoir is like a
A
man-made.
man-made.
lake.
But what
And
about
it's for storing. Okay, you can follow us on Instagram at Iconoblast Podcast. You can follow me at Coop Nukem. You can follow Joel at Joel R. Benner. Everybody, right now, go to shop.drinkingbros.com and buy the fuck out of our merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
We've got merchandise live on the Drinking Bros store.
shop.drinkingbros.com, and there's a search
And-
menu right at the top. Just search Iconoblast and all our shit shows up.
And it's all the best shit on the website. I can
We have the
guarantee
coolest
that.
merch.
It's all the best shit on the website. Buy multiple copies of every
Yeah,
single piece of
right now we have
merchandise.
shirts with the logo, Iconoblast. We have Fuck John Lennon shirts, which are fucking awesome. Devilman drew the design. His face is like melting off. It's great. I can't wait till I get my
Dude.
shirt of that. We have Aquatic Cloaca shirts, hoodies,
Aquatic Cloaca.
long
that
sleeve,
is,
short sleeve, tank tops.
that is the
all
band that
shit.
Joel and I have started. We haven't made our first release yet, but it's
So we will.
coming soon.
Yeah, and then soon, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have stickers of all the same designs.
Stickers,
hats,
mugs,
and,
hats.
Yeah, coffee cups.
And there's a new hat that hasn't been finished yet. It's not on the store yet, but it'll be up there soon. So yeah, shop.drinkingbros.com. You can get all of our merchandise. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Iconoblast Podcast YouTube channel. That way you can join us every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
And we're in the live chat. We'll sit there and shoot the shit with all you.
Yep.
It's a
and
good time.
all the manly history, they're like weird 1 minute pieces of history. We're posting those daily from now on. So you can check those out on the YouTube channel as well.
And aside from that, my name has been Matt Cooper.
I'm Joel Benner.
And we're reminding you to never take anything at face value.
Fuck sharks.
Oh, sharks are great.
Fuck them, dude.
Stay out of the fucking water.
Don't go in
Stay
the
out of the
ocean,
water.
Don't
You
go
don't
in
belong
the river.
there.
Coop.
Rivers are fine. As long as they're not connected
Oh,
to
they have
the
bull
ocean.
sharks in them.
Okay, son.
Later, guys.